When I talk to a lot of retailers and, founders of e-commerce brands, I see fashion as a punishing category. It's a brutal category, right? On one side, you have high returns and then seasonality, the behavior of the shoppers, it keeps changing. You sit in this a brutal category of fashion. What do you think about the category in general, and what is your take on that?
So I would say that it's never been easier to launch a fashion e-commerce platform, and it's never been harder to scale one. I say it's easy to launch because it's one of those categories where you need relatively low capital expenditure. And today, the tech stack required to launch an e-commerce website or app is all available out there as a plug and play for you.
True.
Plus, you need relatively less investment in inventory because it's also relatively lower ASP, selling price category compared to some of the other categories like furniture or electronics. So it's easy to get started. The complication or challenge is how do you really scale the business? Because as you said, there are 3-4 things that differentiate fashion, which makes it very difficult. Number one, returns in fashion can be brutal. If you don't meet the consumer expectation, then your returns can shoot through the roof and it'll completely disrupt your unit economics. Number two, it's an impulse category, which means that you need to be visible to consumers all the time.
Absolutely.
And hence, your reliance on paid media is relatively higher compared to any other category. And when it comes to paid media, whether it is platforms like Meta, Google, Snap, all of them, they have more and more people competing for customers' attention every year, and the rates are only going up. So it is very challenging to acquire customers efficiently. But last but not the least, I think it is easier to acquire customers and get them to try you once. It's much tougher to retain them.
Absolutely.
And you can't build up, customers can flirt with you, but it's very difficult to get them to commit to you. And to build a profitable business, you need customers to commit to you.
Yeah.
Now, this is where fashion gets very tough. People think that I'll pour in the money and acquire the customers and they'll stick with you. Oftentimes it doesn't happen because the first purchase might be driven by a deal or a discount. And then that customer may never come back to you. And that's where your unit economics completely gets spoiled. And most platforms figure out over a period of time that their cost of customer acquisition is higher than their cost than the lifetime value of customers. And that's not a sustainable value proposition. Which is why fashion e-commerce is easy to start, very difficult to scale.
Right. And how do you manage that in Sixth Street? I mean, the lifetime value of the customer, as you mentioned, the profitability lies in the repeat orders, right?
Yes. So we pay a lot of attention to the customer journey. So we have a very strong rigor on the LTV metric, long-term value of customer value. And this has 3 components if you subdivide it, right? One element is what is the repeat rate of the customer. Second is what is the average order value of the customer. And third is what is the profit margin or contribution margin. Now, if you look at all the 3 elements, the toughest amongst the 3 is repeat rate. How do you get customers to repeat with you, especially if you have got the customer for the first time through a coupon or a first time purchase incentive? This is where for a customer to repeat with you, your first experience should be so wow and exceptional that they remember you, right? And number 2, they also need to have another purchase for which you are relevant for them, which means your selection should be large enough for you to be able to cater to them for other purchase.
Makes sense.
And lastly, when they think of that purchase, they need to have you in the consideration set, which means you still need to be available and visible to the customer.
Right.
So these 3 are the key in driving repeat rate. So in Sixth Street, we make sure that we offer the most elevated experience to customers. So for us, our value proposition is built on a very strong, because we knew that it's a competitive market, we've built a very, very strong value proposition in terms of our delivery experience, which is the single largest part of any e-commerce. And therefore, we launched our flagship 60-minute delivery in UAE, 90-minute delivery in all the other 5 GCC countries. And that's a big differentiator. For consumers who experience it, it's like magic.
It is.
On top of that, we also pay a lot of attention to our in-app experience. Our app experience is also very addictive, right? So we really delight in customers spending a lot of time on our website. We track our session time very closely, and we like the fact that a lot of customers spend a lot of time on our website. And we've built a lot of features over time which make our app experience very aspirational, very intuitive, and very discovery led, so that we inspire customers who come to our platform to spend time there. So this is how we solve repeat rate. Then the second element of average order value is a function of how you can help the customer build their cart.
Sure.
To help build their cart, we help them intelligent recommendations on what else you can do. In fact, we recently launched a feature called Complete the Look, where if a customer is on one particular or selected one particular product, we give them ideas on what else can you pair with this product, what
Sure.
accessories, what else can you do, such that you can create a complete look, whether it is for a official occasion or for a party occasion and so on. So this is the second way in which we improve the AOV.
Yeah.
The third element, which is the contribution margin, can also be very tricky because it's very easy to get customers by throwing away discounts, but that's
Yes.
not a sustainable deal.
True.
And hence, to drive contribution margin, again, there are two parts to it. Either you need to get customers to buy more full price items with you, which is a function of experience, and hence it goes with what I said about repeat rate. But also the other important element is how do you bring down your variable cost or the cost per transaction or cost per delivery. So this is where we've built our own in-house logistics fleet. We call it Vamos. And today, 90% of the shipments we deliver to customers, we do it through our own delivery fleet. Now, this is a big, unique advantage that we have because this allows us to keep our costs very closely under control. It allows us to not have a per shipment cost. Rather, it allows us to keep improving our fleet utilization and keep improving our productivity over time and keep bringing down our cost.